up, guys? Welcome back to another day in the life. This one is going to be a little bit different. Obviously, I'm not starting the usual morning rolling into shift. Instead, we are going to start the day before shift, which is now. It's about 1 o'clock, and then I'm going to roll it into tomorrow morning and then going to shift and kind of ending it out there. So a little bit different because today on the agenda, I've got therapy, which I just pulled up to now. After that, I'm going to head to my buddy Vinny, who's a chiropractor, to get some work done. And then from there, back over to the gym. I'm going to hit a lift, and then I have a client, and then we're going to go home and kind of show you guys what I do to kind of prep and get ready, pack and shave and all that stuff for shift tomorrow morning. And then kind of rolling into the next day, have a run in the morning, and then we head down to shift and see what we can get going on there. So a little bit different. Wanted to mix it up, and I felt like, I haven't showed you guys what I do leading up to. So we're gonna run that. I'm gonna go into therapy now, and then I will see you guys in a few minutes. All right, so just finished out the therapy session. Obviously, I didn't film anything going into the session because that's not for you guys to be a part of. But it is definitely something that I recommend, and something that I feel like is becoming more of a trend or a mainstream thing, but something that I still think there's a stigma over for especially men, maybe not so as much for women, but just therapy in general. I know the stigma once upon a time of, I don't need therapy, I'm a man, like I don't need to talk about my feelings or emotions or things like that. And it's just like, it's bullshit. Therapy isn't just to go in, cry, and get a pat on the back type of deal. Like it's something that's, yes, it's got those components where I first started after the loss of my father a few years back during the time of COVID. After that, obviously, I jumped in and had to get some things straightened out. Through that process, I decided to put away alcohol. So now, as of yesterday, the 9th of January, I am 2 years without alcohol. And, a large part of that is getting the foundations and the elements and the tools, things like that, through chatting with therapy and like having those elements. So it has that approach, but it's also way more than that. I go in there on these sessions, like for instance, today, it was very much so talking about, 2025 and, at this point of my life, just wanting to really lock things in, dial it in and grow, and talking about my goals for this year and how we're going to make that happen. And sometimes these sessions have to do with business and entrepreneurial stuff and training. It's not just the emotional go in and cry it out type deal. So I think there's just a lot more to be gained through having those outlets. And if you have it through a friend or a family member that you can do that, then great. But sometimes having the professional that's been in certain instances or has a little bit more knowledge behind it provides generally a safer space for you to feel comfortable just laying it all out. For me, I was originally doing, once a week. Now I'm like twice a week, maybe once a month, just again, to go in and, if things are going on, then we talk about those things. But if not, then we talk about how we can just get better and how we can implement more strategies and tools and habits and just build foundations. And one thing we talked about today, obviously, with how much I'm growing within, the training, talking to you all via YouTube, and again, building the online training as well as the in-person stuff that I'm trying to back off of a little bit more. And then the firefighting stuff, there's just a lot of growth happening, especially with, my daughter at home and family and all those things. And something we talked about was making those small 2% increments or improvements each day, rather than trying to conquer the world in a single sitting, or trying to go from point A to point B in your business or life or your journey and just skipping the whole process of it. Making the 2% increments each day of getting slightly better each day is eventually going to widen out to where you're getting to where you want to go, and even more. But you have to lean into the process, trust the process, and start enjoying the process, because everyone's gone through it. Like, yes, you hear about some internet sensations where it's like, I've gone from point A to point B and now I'm making so much money. It's like, I'm very much so not at that point, but I'm making small improvements each day, each video, each client, not just there, small improvements, with communication at home and with my friends and family, and things like that. So small improvements, small habit formations lead to the big results and lead to the big outcomes. That is my rant. We're gonna head over to the chiro because I gotta get my ankle, calf, and knee worked on. I think my hip's a little hiked up, so my easy run today felt a little shitty once I hit 4 miles. So we're gonna dial that in, get that worked out, take you through that, show you Vinny in his place, and then we're gonna head over to the gym for a workout. So I'll catch you over at the chiro in a minute.
Based off kind of history, like how long have you been running and just how long you've been dealing with kind of like ankle issues?
So the running we've been doing since probably back in October, I would say, September, October. And we started picking up the miles. I mean, we started small and then obviously worked towards that half mile or the half marathon that we were going after. I had no issues with any of the knees or any of the ankles. Even, I mean, the calves a little bit here and there, obviously, just as we started getting going. But even as the distance picked up, all the way through the half marathon, there was no issues. During the half marathon, I noticed it wasn't until afterwards that I felt that Achilles, that anterior portion of the Achilles, start to kind of light up. And that's been kind of consistent now since then, which has almost been a month. So. Just finished up. My boy Vinny got me all sorted out and fixed up. So now we're gonna keep maintaining that so we can combat the injury ahead of time and just still run on it. So if you guys are ever in the Delray Boca area, make sure you check out Premier Sports Chiropractic and Recovery. So that's it. So we finished out at Vinny's spot. Definitely got some work done on the ankle, which is actually the medial ankle. I think I was telling anterior before. It is the medial inside middle part of my ankle. So feels good right now. My knees actually feel a little bit more sore, but I mean, after all the scraping and the cupping and stuff like that, naturally gonna happen until probably tomorrow after it wears off, and then we're gonna hit it again in the morning anyways. So we just gotta stay on top of that because it's one of those ailments that the more I push, the more it's gonna happen. And obviously we're trying to make steady increases and not destroy the body in the process of it. Strengthening these movements, these ligaments, and these joints as I'm continuing to train is only gonna help, combat the injuries and stuff like that. So that is what we're doing with that. I was supposed to get a workout in, did not get to do that. I was leaving, I got a call from Megan that I had to come do a car switch out, so we had a whole car switch. Yeah, I have about 5 minutes before my client arrives. I'm gonna jump in with him and we're gonna do a combined session today. He likes to get a little extra push when I jump in on his session, so it works out for me. I get to hit a workout and he gets a good push. But he's gonna be doing a total body session today, which he is one of my once a week clients that I have in person, which is still very few now that I'm making the transition online. He chooses to do once a week, so to hit the most out of his sessions, I generally stick to a full body program with him, with the compound lift today being squats, and then we'll do some plyometric stuff in the beginning as well, and then accessories built into that, which I'll take you guys along and show you a little bit of that. And then after we wrap things up here, we are gonna go home and start getting stuff ready for work tomorrow. I'll show you kind of what I pack for lunch and snacks and things like that. Yeah, we'll start shutting it down for the night, have some dinner, and then we'll wake up tomorrow morning, we got the tempo. So stick around, we're gonna push through that workout. Again, I'm jumping in on it. For those of you that do not already know, I have been a trainer for the last 8 years, primarily doing in-person training with the gym that I'm currently at, Pitt Fitness. I'm still doing group fitness classes, so we coach up to 40 people per class, high intensity partner interval style training, and then also the one-on-ones that I've been doing for the past 8 years. I'm NFPT certified. I've been that way since college. I'm just about CSCS certified. I missed the final mark by 8 questions, so I'll have to go retake that somewhere this year, but the knowledge base is there. It's just the specifics on how they answer the questions that trip me up. So tons of knowledge, tons of experience, and now I'm taking that and moving it over online because I can help more people in that way with also taking some time back to spend more time with family. So I'm making that big transition and push online now with my clientele, a lot of which of the in-person clients that I'm taking are switching to a hybrid offer where they're seeing me once or twice a week, and then the rest of the programming is going to be done online, as well as nutrition, tracking, accountability, habits, and all of that good stuff. So if you guys are interested, as always, you can hit my website, www.paulcolson.com. And if you're not following me on Instagram, at Paul Colson Coaching, that's where you're going to get more of a daily into my life and kind of seeing my clients or my coaching stuff at the gym, and as well as just lifestyle stuff as well. So definitely hit a follow on there as well. So, all right, I'm going to go get ready for the session, and I will catch you guys afterwards. Chest is going to be slightly up off the bench.
Yeah.
Okay, legs fully extended, core engaged. You're almost like, we're going to drop the shoulder blades here like you're pulling the scaps apart. Just letting a deeper stretch there. As we come up, pulling the shoulder blades together, pulling the dumbbells close to the hips, and we're raising that chest up. And then coming back down, letting the scaps retract. Come back up. Big squeeze and release. Quick talking. All right, so we're back at the house, picked up more of my BPN cookies and cream protein and more Go Gels because as I'm getting longer in the distances, I'm definitely needing more fuel during the run. And then, of course, more creatine because we were out of that. Not sponsored, still buying this stuff on my own, but I like the products and I like the mission of the company, so that's what we're going to continue to use and do, like everything that they put out. And again, Nick Bear has done very well with the brand and the mission and everything like that. So now we are in the kitchen making some dinner for tonight and for shift for tomorrow. Pretty much basic stuff that I generally eat every day is going to be the base of spinach with 5 ounces of rice. Tonight I'm doing 6 ounces because I'm already at over 3,000 calories for the day with the run and everything else. So Megan made chicken thighs, so we're gonna have chicken thighs on top of the ground beef that I'm gonna do for lunch for tomorrow. So that, black beans, and then I add the meat, generally anywhere from 6 to 8 ounces, generally 6, but if I need a little extra that day and I'm not having an additional protein shake, then I go that route. Black beans, generally 2 ounces. I'll throw cheese on top. Again, 2 ounces of that just because I like cheese and it adds an additional fat source in there as well. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna eat, shave, shower, and get ready for tomorrow. I will see you guys in a little bit to close it out. What's up, guys? 5:30 in the morning. I woke up around 5 we're gonna jump into the run this morning. Megan's mom was still sleeping on the couch, so I had to quietly get my coffee and then sneak into the bathroom, do a little bit of warming up in there, and then now we're outside to finish a little bit more of the warm up before I jump into the tempo run today. The gist of today is going to be a 1.2 mile warm up followed by 4 rounds of 0.5, so a half mile at a 7:55 pace right into an 8:55 pace at a half mile. That again for 4 rounds. Follow that up with 1.25 mile finish or cool down, and that should bring me somewhere around 6 to 6.5 miles, something around there. The knee is actually feeling a little tender today, not even so much the ankle after the work yesterday. So I'm going to try to warm it up a little bit more and see how it feels, and then we're just going to have to gauge it as we get rolling on the run today and see if it loosens up and opens up for me, or if it stays tight, feeling like shit, then I might have to pull back a little bit. But as long as I get something in without extremely aggravating it, I can rest it and do mobility at the station later today. So we're going to jump into that, finish warming up here, and then throw on a podcast while I hit the warm up, switch it over to some music, and drill out the tempos so long as the knee's good. So I will see you guys on the other side. All right, the run is done and we're on the way to shift. Honestly, that was probably the most difficult run mentally, a bit physically, but mostly mentally today. You know, you see people posting all the time, like they're running 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles and smile on their face. You know, you see the after parts of it. Running's fucking hard. Like, end of story. Like, if you're trying to, I mean, aside from just doing an easy mile or 2 miles and stuff like that, if you're truly trying to build your aerobic base, you're truly trying to compete and you're trying to challenge yourself and push your body. You know, in my case, obviously, I have races this year coming up. I'm trying to put more miles on my feet. For the Hyrox competition, I'm trying to get to an average threshold pace of 7:45, which I'm about there now for my 1Ks, and trying to get underneath that, because that averages out to being somewhere around 4:30 per kilometer versus mile. I don't know, that shit confuses me. But regardless, running's fucking difficult. Sorry for the cursing. I'm getting more comfortable, and as I get comfortable, they slip out a little bit more. But that's the firefighter trainer aspect of it. It was one of those days where I kind of just got out there. My knee and my ankle would not warm up for the first half mile. At one point I had stopped and I about called it quits there. I pushed through and kept going, and after I kind of mixed up my strides a little bit, it ended up going away, getting better and more tolerable for the remainder of the run till we really started to fatigue in the back half. But those half mile pushes, which I have to go back and look, I'll probably throw it somewhere on the screen, but my paces, I believe, were supposed to be a 7:45 or 7:55. I think I was averaging maybe a little underneath that, and then on my slower half mile intervals, I was doing like an 8:55. I think I was averaging about that, maybe a little slower towards the end, just because I needed the extra recovery. Really just trying to hone in on the form while running to try to make sure, you know, my knees weren't caving in. I wasn't over-pronating, causing more of an issue with the ankle. I mean, we got it done, and I feel way more accomplished now getting it done than I had with the idea of quitting. It's definitely a grind. Not every day is all sunshines and rainbows when it comes to running, and that's not just even running. Right? It's the same thing with the gym. It's the same thing with eating. You know, sometimes you don't want to eat the chicken breast. Sometimes you don't want to get to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning and get your shit done. But at the end of the day, if you've got goals that you're working towards, you have to sacrifice some stuff, and you've got to come up with the accountability in your mind to push forward and, you know, get there, because at the end there's going to be someone else that is getting up, that is putting in the work, that is grinding it out. And if you're a go-getter, if you're driven, if you're motivated, you're gonna have to get those things done. Sometimes it's just a push. Sometimes it is a dirty push, but we get it done and we get better for it. You know, 1%, 2%, 3% better every day. Small increments, like I said earlier in the video. That is how we lead to bigger outcomes. That is how we accomplish our goals. So all in all, good stuff. Made smoothies, showered up, and now we're on the way to shift Saturday morning. Hopefully I can get some stuff done today, because I had to take the middle of the week off with Megan being sick, holding things down with Callie and such at home. So we will take you to station, probably talk through a couple calls today. I am going to be taking the rest of the week off with my training, so no Hyrox today, maybe some mobility and stretching at the station. And then Sunday I was supposed to do an 8.5 mile. Unless my knee feels better, I'm going to choose to rest it tomorrow. I've already done 3 runs this week anyways, so, and then next week we'll come back, try to mix it up a little bit more. I will see you guys when we get to station. Guys, we are home now, and obviously I didn't record much of station stuff, so it was honestly a pretty slow day all the way up until 6 o'clock, so there wasn't much going on. I got caught up with programming and business development stuff, so I didn't get to a whole lot of recording at the station. And then once 6 o'clock hit, we were running calls all the way up until 3 a.m. So another 3.5 hour night of sleep. And the last call of the night happened to be a level 1 trauma, car accident. It appeared to be that someone decided to pull off to the side of the road, and then got smashed from behind by an incoming vehicle. Required a little bit of extrication to get the driver out, just because the doors were all jammed up. Reason that it was truly a level 1 was just because of the fact that she was complaining of neck pain, as well as not having any feeling or sensation in her extremities. So fingers, toes, feet, or arms and legs. With that being said, backboarded her, took her out of the car. Obviously C-spine, had the C-collar applied and things like that. Then we took her down to the regional trauma center that's close to us, and that was the wrap of an eventful night. Little sleep, but we managed to get it through and get it done. So definitely a different video for you guys this week, and I hope you liked it. I hope you still got some value from it. I'm not going to leave you with a preaching session this time, because obviously I left you with one earlier in the video prior to my session in the beginning. So you guys got it then, so I'm going to leave you, I'm going to spare you guys the second round. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today, and again, thank you guys. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, and honestly I didn't think, you know, after 2 months of doing this and just kind of jumping on and starting this whole day in a life thing, that it would have kicked off to be this successful so far. So for those of you that are, you know, this far in the video and sticking around through to the end, you're a real one. So keep showing up, and I mean, the support means truly does mean a lot to me. Please like, subscribe, leave your comments. I do want to hear from you guys. I love responding. I love getting the messages. You know, follow me on Instagram if you want more kind of daily stuff, as well as workouts and things like that. That'll be kind of in development of more posting and growing that out more so as well. And that's also going to be Paul Colson coaching. Yeah. Thank you all for the continued support, and I'm excited for future things to come. I do have big announcements coming up. I'm finalizing some paperwork and application stuff. We have a race at the end of the year that I'm very excited to be jumping into. It'll be a first for me. So this will be post Hyrox, going into a nice long prep, if that gives you any idea. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and I'm excited for future episodes. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.